Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Upskill channel. This is the third video in our n8n full course. If you're just joining us, make sure to check out the full playlist. It includes all the previous videos to help you catch up and get the most out of this series. In today's video, you're going to learn how to create your n8n account, explore the interface, and build your very first simple workflow step by step. Whether you're brand new to automation or just getting started with n8n, this video will help you hit the ground running. We'll also cover the core concepts so you'll understand what nodes, workflows, and executions are all about. And now, let's get started. First, let's walk through creating an account on n8n and understanding your access options. The platform can seem a bit confusing at first because there are three distinct ways to use it. The easiest and most popular method, and the one we'll focus on in this video, is using the official n8n cloud service by signing up on their website. The second option is to self-host n8n, either on your own server or a cloud provider, which gives you more control but requires technical setup. The third way involves using external hosting platforms like Railway or Render, which offer cloud hosting without the hassle of managing your own server. I'll cover these advanced options later in the course, but for now, we'll stick to the cloud version. When you sign up on the n8n site, you'll find a 14-day free trial available so you can explore the platform risk-free. Regarding pricing, n8n is one of the most budget-friendly automation tools on the market, especially compared to Zapier, Make, or other alternatives. For example, the starter plan costs €24 per month and includes 2,500 workflow executions, which is quite generous. Now, let's clarify some key terms you'll encounter frequently: nodes, workflows, and executions. Nodes are the fundamental building blocks of your automations. Each node performs a specific action, like sending an email with Gmail, adding data to a Google Sheet, or calling an API. Think of nodes as individual steps or tasks in your process. A workflow is a collection of these nodes connected together to automate a complete process. It's like a flowchart where data flows from one step to the next. This structure controls how your automation behaves. An execution refers to one full run of a workflow. Whenever your workflow is triggered and processes all its nodes from start to finish, that counts as one execution. Here's why understanding these distinctions matters for pricing. With n8n, you pay based on the number of workflow executions, not the number of nodes within those workflows. So whether your workflow has 3 nodes or 50, it counts as a single execution. This contrasts with platforms like Zapier, which charge per task or node, making n8n more cost-effective for complex automations. Now that you have an overview, let's get your account set up. Go back to the link, click Sign In the top right corner, then choose Start a Free Trial. Enter your name, email, password, and account name. Click the button to start your free 14-day trial, and after a short wait, your account will be ready to use. Next, you'll be asked a few questions like, what team are you on? Just pick the option that fits you. It only takes a few seconds. You can skip any other questions for now. Your workspace will then start setting up, which might take a few seconds as well. Once it's ready, click Start Automating, and you're all set. Your n8n account is ready to use. Let's explore the n8n interface now. The key area to know is projects, which act like folders to organize your workflows. You'll see a default project called Personal, where you can create workflows. You can either start from scratch or click the Create Workflow button to begin. The main workspace is user-friendly. To navigate, click and hold your mouse's scroll button to move around. To zoom in or out, hold Control and scroll your mouse wheel. In the bottom left corner, you'll find buttons to zoom to fit, zoom in, tidy up, and reset zoom. These are great tools for managing large workflows. At the top left, you can rename your workflow, for example, My First Workflow, and add tags to keep things organized. The central editor is where you build your automation using notes. There's also an Executions tab to review each time your workflows run, which is useful for troubleshooting or tracking progress. On the top right corner, you have options to enable or disable your workflow, share it with others, and check the version history. The three-dot menu offers more features like duplicating, downloading, or importing workflows via URL. You can even import full projects. In settings, one important option is setting your time zone. It usually defaults to your local time, but it's good to verify. There are advanced options like execution order and error workflows, but you can leave those as default for now. Each setting has a question mark icon next to it that explains what it does. Finally, click Save, then head to the top right and click the plus icon to open the Notes panel. This is how you start adding notes and begin building your workflow step by step. All right, now let me walk you through something really important when creating workflows, the concepts of triggers and nodes. First off, what exactly is a trigger? Think of it as the specific event or condition that tells your workflow when to start running. There are lots of different kinds of triggers. For example, you might have a trigger that starts the workflow when you manually click a button, or it could be scheduled to run every day, every week, or at a custom time. Another common trigger is when someone submits a form or fills in information, like adding data to Google Sheets. You can also set triggers based on receiving an email in Gmail or when a certain event happens inside an app you're using. The possibilities are pretty wide. There's even a webhook trigger, which is triggered when your workflow receives data from a website or platform via an API call. This is especially powerful for connecting your automation to other online services or apps. So basically, the trigger is what kicks off your entire automation, and after that, the workflow moves through a series of nodes to complete the tasks you've set up. So imagine you have a webhook set up on your website that publishes new articles. Whenever a new article goes live, that webhook triggers your automation to start running. Similarly, you can have a webhook that triggers when someone submits a form, like a client inquiry form, where they enter their name, email, service type, and so on. Every time the form is submitted, the workflow kicks off automatically. You can also trigger a workflow from another workflow using the execute workflow node. This means one workflow can call another one to run. We'll explore that in more detail later in the course. Another cool trigger is the chat message trigger. This is especially useful for chatbots or virtual assistants. For example, when you send a message like schedule a call with Mark, the automation starts and takes care of that task. There are many other triggers too, and we'll cover them all step by step as we go along in the course. But these are some of the main ways to start your workflows. All right, for now, let me choose Trigger Manually. This means the workflow will only run when I click the Test Workflow button. So if I click that now, nothing happens yet because the workflow is empty. But when we click the plus button, we can add different nodes to build our automation. There are many nodes in n8n. I'll explain more about them later in the course. For now, let me show you how to add a simple action. I'll pick an app, and for this example, I'll choose Gmail. Now, I can set what action I want Gmail to do. So, whenever I click the button to run this workflow, I want it to send an email to our client. Once I add the Gmail node, you'll see a window with input and output options. Here's an important tip. When you hover over a node, you get some useful controls. For example, if you have 15 nodes in your workflow, you can test just one step without running the entire workflow. This is handy for troubleshooting. Later in the course, I'll show you how to deactivate a node, delete it, or even duplicate it. Just click the three dots on the node, and you'll see options like Open, Test Step, Rename, Deactivate, and Copy. There's a lot you can do with nodes, but that's enough to get you started for now. When you double-click on this node, you can set up specific details to configure how it works. Let's click here, and the first step is to create new credentials. What does that mean? It means we need to connect our Gmail account to n8n. Basically, what we're doing is linking n8n with an application so it can perform actions on our behalf. This connection happens through API keys or API authentication, which is very important for security. Now, here's the great part with n8n in the cloud. You don't have to handle this manually. Instead, you simply click Sign in with Google, and it will automatically connect to your account. So let's click that. I'll select all the permissions and continue. This step is important. Now my account is connected. Once connected, I can go back and see my Gmail account ready to use in the node. Next, you choose the resource type, options like message, label, draft, or thread. I want to send a message here because obviously we can also create drafts or manage labels or threads depending on what you need. Then under operation, you select the action, such as sending the message. That's what we picked earlier. Next, I need to provide some details like the email subject, email type, and the message itself. Now, just to clarify, in this video, we won't be building a full automation workflow yet, but I want to show you how to fill in these specific values. For example, let's send an email to myself, then I'll write the message content. For now, we've set everything up: subject, email type, message, recipient email, and the send action. After running it, I see workflow executed successfully. Now, if I check my email inbox, there it is. So the email was sent automatically by n8n. Nice, it worked perfectly. So in this video, we set up your n8n account and covered the basics like understanding the differences between workflows, nodes, and executions. We also explored how to navigate inside workflows. Now, before we finish, let me show you some other useful options on the n8n website. When you're inside your workflow, you can go to the top left corner and click on Overview. But first, make sure to click Save so you don't lose your work. Great, there's our first saved workflow. Next, let's check out the admin panel. Clicking on it will take you to your dashboard, where you can manage your workspace, see workflow executions, and handle active workflows. From the dashboard, click Open My Workspace to return to your workspace. Just below the admin panel in the sidebar, you'll see Templates. This is a fantastic resource to find inspiration for your own workflows or projects. I highly recommend browsing through them to get ideas. Below Templates, there's a section called Variables. These are key value pairs you can create and manage in the admin panel. Think of variables as static values, like storing passwords or API keys that you can reuse across multiple workflows for convenience and security. We'll dive deeper into variables later in the course, but it's worth mentioning now that you can create variables to store important information and reuse them anywhere in your workflows, which is really handy. Next up, there's Insights. This section shows you valuable data about your workflows, like how many executions you've had, failed executions, failure rates, and more. It's a great way to monitor your automation health. Then you have Help, where you can find the quick start documentation. Let me show you. n8n provides extensive documentation, including video tutorials, written guides, and courses. If you ever get stuck, this is the place to go. You'll also find a forum with active users where you can ask questions, share ideas, and connect with the community. There's also a bug reporting option and additional info about n8n. In the bottom left corner, click on the 3 dots menu. From here, you can sign out or open Settings. In Settings, you can customize your experience, like switching the theme from dark, the default, to light. For example, I can add my last name here and hit Save. And just like that, my profile updates. Settings also let you enable 2-factor authentication for extra security on your account. On the left side of Settings, you'll find more advanced options like Users, External Secrets, Environment, SSO, LDAP, and log streaming. We'll cover those in more detail later in the course. So, that's a quick tour of the main options you'll find inside n8n's web interface. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the next videos in this series. Also, check out the full playlist from right here to keep leveling up your automation skills. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.